Hello, I'm Patricia Henderson with Senior Connection Center, and this is your weekly connection. Caregiving can be challenging, especially long-distance caregiving. One avenue of help may be to utilize the services of an aging life care professional, formerly known as a geriatric care manager. What is an aging life care professional? How can they help? To answer those questions and more, with me today are Barbara Herrington from All About Aging and Genevieve Faulk from Aging Care Advocates.
Good morning.
Thank you both for being here today.
Good morning.
Barbara, what is an aging life care professional?
Thank you for asking, Patricia. People just often don't know of the role, and they don't understand it sometimes until they've actually used a professional as an aging life care professional. Sometimes we're known as an aging life care manager. Like you say, we used to be known as geriatric care managers, but who wants to be geriatric? And all of us are aging. Some of our aging life care members are actually dealing with children, or their business is focused on people with disabilities. So an aging life care manager is your partner. It's somebody that's going to help coach you through the aging years for yourself or for your parent, for your extended family member. Often we are nurses, social workers, gerontologists. People can have a varied background and can come to the industry having been working in a variety of careers and decided this is what they want to do, this specific advocacy. So most of us, well, we encourage people to be a member of the Aging Life Care Association, because at this time we're not licensed. So we do want people to be a member of the Aging Life Care Association. And to be a member, you have to have the education, the expertise, and the experience.
Genevieve, what are some of those requirements for becoming an aging life care professional?
Well, thank you so much for having us on today, Patricia. And Barbara, I think you summarized it really well. A lot of times family members don't know where to look when they're facing caregiving issues. And really, we are that guide or that advocate for not only the older adult or the younger disabled adult or the child that has special needs, but we're really that advocate to partner up with the patient, with the client, with the family, and really sit down, explain all the options, all the resources, bring in all the needed services that might be important for this situation, and really partner with the family and the patient and guide them through the whole journey that they're on. Whenever anyone gets into the situation, they usually say, I just don't know which way to turn. And a lot of times I've heard over the years, I am just so grateful that we've been able to find you. I know Barbara has heard that as well. As aging life care professionals, if you are a member of the Aging Life Care Association, which in order to be an aging life care professional, you have to be, you have to have several years of experience and education, a certain level of education. There's different levels of membership, but certainly if you're going to look for someone to help advocate for your loved one, it's important to look at for an aging life care professional, because they have already been somewhat vetted in the sense of they have certain number of years of experience, they have certain number or level of education, and they also have to pass a certification exam in order to become an aging life care professional. So I just wanted to throw that out there. There are people that are out there doing this profession, doing advocacy work, and we're not discounting their work. We just think it's important that people be educated and knowledgeable about who they're hiring. And so if you're looking to hire an aging life care professional, the best place to do it is through the aginglifecare.org website.
And we will have that website at the end of the video for you.
The other thing that I think is great as maintaining the certification is that we're required to have so many hours per year of continuing education. So we are always keeping up to date and learning new information and new skills.
Barbara, what are some of the services that are provided by an aging life care professional?
So the interesting part about this is that it's wide open. You know, we are not a Medicare agency, so a lot of people don't understand that. For the most part, it is private pay. Sometimes a long-term care insurance company will pay. A lot of times people don't understand it's the older person's adult child who is typically calling for services.
Mhm.
And many times they're the ones wanting to pay. They are the ones saying, I want mom to have some help. She doesn't think she needs it. She doesn't want it. How can you get us some help? So, you know, we're the ones that are going to come in and really analyze what the situation is. So the important task is this assessment. And this is a good graphic. It shows you all of our areas of expertise. So we are the experts in aging well. Not that we know every bit of these things, but we sure know who to guide you to do well with these. I always tell people it's like we're the coach of the team, you get to be the owner. But these are all the different parts of your team, and we want to help make sure that all of these aspects of your life are assessed and monitored and that you're getting the best quality possible. So we do everything from, you know, reviewing medications, seeing what their medication management system is, getting to the doctor with them, making sure that the doctor actually knows what's going on and the doctor's orders are followed. We help facilitate getting home care agencies in, getting caregivers in, help guiding the caregivers. You know, nothing is worse than a family finally hiring a caregiver and the person is there on their phone the whole time. So we are the ones to help often connect with what is that person's interest? What can you do to make the life better for them? It's like I say, it's just really wide open. We help with transitions, whether you're in the hospital, going home or to a facility, or if you're living at home and it's time to go live in a senior community, we help with those transitions. We help when it's time to stop driving. You know, what a difficult task that is. We help maneuver in the most gentle way possible how to get that older person to stop driving. I will tell you some other situations are people that are hoarders, people that have, I think you're probably seeing a lot too, Genevieve, a lot of depression, a lot of alcoholism. We have several situations where mom and dad both have some type of dementia. So we do help maneuver all those situations.
So it could be a short-term relationship, an assessment and letting the adult child know the resources, or it could be a long-term, often like standing in the place of the child relationship.
Exactly. My daughter that works with us is our business development director. She calls us the local professional daughter. So it's what your daughter might do for you if she knew this business inside and out. But yeah, so sometimes it's very short. You know, a lot of people today are much more savvy. They're on the internet. They just need us to coach them through. Sometimes there's difficult family relationships and they're not going to listen to their adult children. They don't want the adult children to go to the doctor with them, you know, that sort of thing. So that might be a time where we step in. I think the other challenge is people think I have to have somebody here to be my power of attorney and healthcare surrogate. So we always help them look at who knows you best, who are you going to trust the best to make that decision for you. So even if they are, as one of ours was in the military in Afghanistan, we can work with that person no matter where they are to be your decision maker when the time comes. So we are not guardians. We help guide and then implement. And like you say, whether it's short term for a transition, we have people that, you know, we do everything with them. We have other people we just see once a month, once a quarter. Anything else, Genevieve?
Yeah, I was just going to say that I think the biggest part of what we do is really give families a peace of mind that we are standing by them and supporting them and making the best decisions for caregiving for their loved ones. So oftentimes what we really do is we not only go in and assess the whole picture, and we make recommendations about what might be best for those situations, but we may even go into a facility and do chart reviews. That's a big part of my practice, is my team goes in to make sure that balls aren't, you know, I mean, facilities are busy places. I'm not going to throw any facility under the bus. I've worked in facilities for years. It is a tough job and there's a lot of balls up in the air constantly. We're just making sure we're partnering with the facility and the family and the patient to make sure they get the best care possible. That is our goal. And if that means checking the chart to make sure an order was followed through, or setting up specialty appointments or making sure that transportation gets set up and doesn't get canceled or is actually happens. Those types of things, are oftentimes what we do. Sometimes there's families that are in conflict with the facilities where we can be that mediator in between the facility and the family. And oftentimes we can kind of smooth out those bumps, and we can support both. We can support the family in that journey, because it's really tough having someone in a facility, especially given this past year. It has been tough. And Barbara, I'm sure you've seen this, but over the past year due to COVID, it has been a very challenging time because we haven't been able to go in and get eyes on our clients, and the families have been beyond distraught, understandably so. So we've actually come up with a checklist on how we can best advocate for those clients in facilities and communities, to make sure that certain needs are being met. And we were able to stop, because we had to stop going into facilities, we were able to turn that into a telephonic advocacy call. And that was really very effective. And family members were really surprised at how much information we could gather from a call, and also how much we could assess that something might be amiss right now. For example, we've had clients in some of the facilities that have gotten more agitated, more confused. And we've said, we really encourage the facility. We asked the family, we asked the facility, would you please do a UA, which is to test for urinary tract infection? And we have found that several of our clients during COVID during this lockdown period, that they had UTIs, and they just were going undiagnosed. Again, we are not blaming the facility.
No,
we just want to make sure that the clients get the best care possible. And that, if I can summarize what aging life care professionals do, is ensuring best end of life, best care possible for our clients. Really at any stage of their life. It doesn't have to necessarily be any stage. And also supporting that family and giving them peace of mind, knowing they have a partner in this journey, whatever it is, whether it's a short one-time meeting for a consult, which is what we do, to give them strategies and ideas, all the way up to ongoing long-term advocacy, where we really ensure the person is getting good care wherever they are, whether they're at home, the hospital, the assisted living, the memory care, the skilled nursing facility, they're in a nursing home. We're really making sure that they're getting the best care possible. And we're partnering with the family and the whole healthcare professional team to ensure that.
It sounds like an aging life care professional can be involved in many, many aspects of someone's life.
Absolutely.
And I think what was so beneficial last year, being a member of the Aging Life Care Association, was the tremendous support we had. We had frequent Zoom calls, so we were in touch with care managers all over the country, people sharing ideas and really being creative with how to make the best of a really terrible situation. So there's a lot of shared knowledge. The association has been in existence over 35 years.
Yeah. Those Friday afternoon Zoom meetings that they would have through the Aging Life Care Association membership, it was really great, because there are, obviously their membership is nationwide. In fact, some are actually outside of the United States. But what we were able to do is pool our knowledge and our resources and share ideas about how to best work with our clients that are in lockdown. How can we serve them the best? How can their families interact with them the best? What kinds of tools can they use to try to connect with their loved ones? It was not only supportive emotionally as a professional, but also wonderful with regards to ideas and sharing of ideas for our clients' sake. So,
Barbara, will you share some experiences of how you helped families?
Well, I think of one, just, like Genevieve says, you do the best working with facilities. It's tough. The whole industry is tough. So everybody does the best they can. We have a gentleman who had been in the hospital. It was not a good situation for him. Discharged him with hospice. Hospice orders, were sent to the facility. He's just not doing well. 5-6 days later, he's not doing well. We have an RN, nurse consultant. So she goes out and she looks and she says, maybe this Tylenol twice a day is not enough. So they look at it. So I go the next day, I'm like, why is he not better? somehow the order from hospice never got to the facility.
Mhm.
He had no Tylenol in the 7, 8, 9 days since he'd been discharged from the hospital. So that was easy to fix. But it was just like, man, how did that happen? Everybody is trying their best to be on top of things. I think some of our other really great stories are the ones where we've been able to help people stop driving. We have used GoGo Grandparent, which is a great tool. So, it's the idea of helping them find what is still going to help them feel independent and feel in control of their life. I think of the situation that both mom and dad had different types of dementia. Mom was a retired nurse. No offense, but they're the worst. And smart, really smart, but boy, it was tough to work within what might make sense to her. But the best thing was the children were not really friends, the 3 kids. And by the end of it, they were so good for each other. They were such a good team. So we do, like Genevieve said, we do a lot of mediating, and you do bring peace to the situation. And families are so grateful to have the situation stabilized.
Barbara, I think that's a great point, which is a lot of times family members are at odds with what they feel is best for their aging parent.
Yes.
And oftentimes as aging life care professionals, we have to bring everyone to the table and try to sift through what everybody's wishes are, and then really look at not only what the wish is of the older adult, because that's the most important thing. What is their wish, but also what's in their best interest, because someone might not want to place mom in a community because they're worried about the finances and dwindling and not being available for them and their kids later on down the road. Someone else might say, I'm going to spend anything and everything I can on mom because she deserves it. It's just, there's so many different opinions and so many different variables that you have to come to the table as a group and try to make sure everybody understands that we're here for mom or dad or this individual and their best interest. We understand everybody has interests. We understand everybody has opinions, but we really need to focus on mom, dad, this individual, and what is going to help them get to where they need to be safe, healthy, well taken care of, supported, emotionally, supported and encouraged. They need to be supported not only emotionally, but also it needs to be done with dignity. People need to be treated with respect. They need to be treated with dignity. So when Barbara was talking about helping people stop driving, that's a huge thing. And it's very difficult for older adults to their ability to drive. And oftentimes they fight, and we see it a lot. So it's really about strategizing and communicating with that older adult about other options, but also sometimes behind the scenes doing things that support them and keep their dignity intact. But for their own safety, we're doing things behind the scenes to make sure things are being taken care of and the right strategies are putting into place, like what the caregiver needs to say, if dad asks for the keys, things of that nature. And so that's really a big part of what aging life care professionals do, is strategize with real good tools. Not only like, let's bring your mom or dad to the driving assessment place there's therapists out there that do that, but also saying, okay, when your dad asks for those keys and he's ready to head out the door, what are we going to do then? What are we doing? And we're going to have a plan on what we're going to do, and everybody's going to be on the same page. Because if you have one sibling saying this, one adult child saying this, and another adult child saying that, what are we doing here? We're not going to get anywhere. It's going to cause friction in the family, but the older adult themselves is going to be the person that is going to be the most confused about it, because there's not consistency about the support. So we want to make sure that we're really communicating well.
So putting all the pieces of the puzzle together.
Yes. Good way to put it.
Yes.
Genevieve, will you give us that website one more time where someone can find an aging life care professional in their area?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Thanks for asking. It's www.aginglifecare.org. On the top right-hand side of the screen, there's an orange button that says Find an Aging Life Care Expert. Click there, and then it will bring you to a page that will allow you to put in your city or your zip code, and then it'll pull up a listing in your area. So it's helpful nationwide for anyone that might need our help.
And we will have that website at the end of the video.
We encourage people to look at it. As Genevieve mentioned, there are many people who care and want to help seniors. But if you join this association, you are going to become a professional. You're going to have the support of the entire community. I will tell you, we meet the nicest families. You know, some of the situations are quite challenging, but it's a wonderful profession. And we encourage people to join. Certainly, we need people to take care of those of us who are aging, which is everybody.
Genevieve, final thoughts for us?
Thanks so much for having us on today, Patricia. I think the hardest part about the field we're in is that most people don't know about us. And a lot of families that come to me say, I wish I had found you sooner. So thank you for allowing us the forum to share and spread the word about aging life care professionals and what we do, because it is a very needed and important role, but it's also a wonderful role that we serve. So thank you so much.
Barbara?
I agree. Just thank you so much for that. Genevieve and I have both been involved in ALCA for a long time. We're both active in the Florida chapter and very proud of our Florida chapter. So we just really encourage people, give us a call, let us help you. Look up Aging Life Care and we're there for you.
Such important and useful information. Thank you both for being here today and helping us to understand the role of an aging life care professional. I'm Patricia Henderson, and this is your Weekly Connection.